Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Detroit Redwings fire head coach Derek Lalonde and hire Todd McLellan.
Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. I'm your host, Connor.
I'm your co-host, Kyle. We are brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network, sponsored by Draftkings and GameTime.
We're a podcast. We are not experts. We are not partnered with the Griffins. We are a podcast. We're just hardcore fans. We're a podcast for fans, by fans. Welcome back.
So, some big news to talk about here today as the Red Wings move on from Derek Lalonde and hire Todd McLellan, our once assistant coach that won the Stanley Cup with us in 2008 and has had a fair amount of success around the league.
Yeah, it's nice to see another player that's won a cup here in Detroit back coaching. We'll see what he can do to this team. Obviously, there's a lot of issues up there with this team, so obviously a change was needed. We'll see if he can be the answer or if he's just a bridge coach.
Yeah, I mean, by the sounds of it, Yzerman made the hint that he wants McLellan here in the future and that he might not be the bridge coach option. He's going to be pushing for success from this point on. It sounds like he himself is getting a little tired of how the Yzer plan is turning out.
Yeah, like he was saying on his press conference, he was saying not every team gets blessed with a Connor McDavid or a Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin. You know, sometimes you gotta find other ways to win, and that's what we kind of have done. We've had like a defensive solid formations. We had a lot of defensive good game, and then we have ourselves like Dylan Larkins, who aren't necessarily Connor McDavid's. We got like a Kane and a Larkin. It's just not working out, and definitely I'm interested to see what Yzerman's gonna even be able to do to turn this around.
Yeah, interesting. There's a lot of, repercussions when you just change the coach in the middle of the season. And it's who knows what happens with the Griffins from here on out as far as the relationship between Dan Watson and Lalonde was pretty close. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with Todd McLellan. I'm sure things will move along fine for this season, but we might see players progress faster or slower depending on McLellan's desire.
Yeah, it's a really big deal. I mean, the Toledo connection's gone now, and that makes you wonder too. Like, eventually, like last year, we just renewed for 3 years, I believe, with the Toledo Walleye. If that runs out, will we possibly look at like the K Wings? I mean, they're right here in Kalamazoo. They have the wings in their name.
Yeah,
you never know.
A lot that could happen with a change like this, and like I said, there's a lot of other news going around too. We got prospects across seas really tearing it up. We've got Bachelnikov with a Christmas hero win, getting a goal with like a minute and 20 seconds left in the game over there in Russia. And then we got Axel Sandin Pellikka getting a 4-point game for his team in the SHL.
Yeah, and that was a hat trick too. You got the hat trick. That's crazy to see a young defenseman get a hat trick like that. And it's really cool. He's wearing the captain jersey over there for them. I can't wait to see him on the Griffins, hopefully. Like you said, things may have changed and he might just be straight to Detroit. Hopefully not. Hopefully we still see some of these guys. But yeah, and then Hunter Johannes is sent down to Toledo.
And we also get William Wallander back from the Redwings after his short trip up to watch for a game.
Let's get into this division standings. So the Grand Rapids Griffins have played 29 games. They are 17, 9, 3, and 0. They have 37 points. They are in first place of the Central Division. The rest of the Central Division goes as in second place. The Texas Stars have 31 points. The Chicago Wolves in third with 30 points, tied with the Milwaukee Admirals, also with 30 points. The Rockford Ice Hogs in fifth, which is that last playoff spot, 26 points. Sixth place, the Iowa Wild, 21 points. And in seventh place, and last place, the Moose, Manitoba Moose, with 15 points only. So the division definitely heated up. These teams that all have 30 points have played like 25 games, opposed to the Griffins 29. We're still sitting in that nice, juicy spot, but there's no more cushion. There's no more gap. One game, and we're going to slide down the standings dramatically. At this point, we really got to learn how to play without Lombardi and Mazer for at least another month. We need to keep this up because it could go bad.
We got 4 teams tied here at 37 points. And in the last 10 games, Griffins are 4-4-2. That's just not really doing it when all the teams below us are like the Charlotte Checkers, 7-3-0. Providence Bruins, 7-2-1. The Tucson Roadrunners are 8-2-0. Ontario Reigns, 9-1-0. And the Chicago Wolves, with only 25 games, which is one of the least in the league right now, with 30 points, are 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. Griffins have 29 games with 37 points. So if Chicago Wolves win their next 4 games, they'll be right where Griffins are, but with 38 points on top of the division. So,
and what a turnaround for those Chicago Wolves. At the beginning of the season, it looked like huge disagreements between Carolina and them. But turns out Carolina's given them help, and now they're obviously a much better team again, and they're back. So watch out for the Wolves. They've honestly have our number already this year.
yeah, but as of now, I think the Griffins are holding tight. We just got to keep playing the way we started out playing, hot, feisty, and making sure that we put pucks in the net, capitalize on our chances. Some more chances would not hurt at all. Because all year we've been cut down on chances, but just making the most out of them.
So the Wranglers are back up there at first place still, 41 points. The Hershey Bears are still, and the Rocket are still up there. Rochester Americans actually are up there now. So yeah, we need to keep winning. Well, let's get into hot and cold. So in this segment, we like to pick a player who's hot and a player who's cold, and we like to randomly generate the number till it matches the player's jersey number. And we like to place that player on the scale of hot and cold. So Kyle, who do you have for cold?
So for cold, this is, I'm sure, just a temporary thing. But Tuamisto has dropped to the bottom of plus minus at -6. Not a good sign. I mean, a lot of goals given up this last couple games. So, yeah, he's just kind of culprit of it and finds himself, right at the bottom of the barrel with Vero and Wallander and Shine all got -6. So, got to step it up, get that defense back on track here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, things have gotten sloppy for sure. It's like feel like we had that huge cushion. It's like we got comfortable. Now it's time to get it back on the grindstone. So yeah, so who I got for cold, I got Hunter Johannes because he got sent down to Toledo. He clearly wasn't ready for the AHL yet. So they sent him down, and hopefully he can hone his skills in and maybe make an appearance down the road when when the new coach steals all our guys.
Yeah, I don't know if it's not a matter of he's not ready yet. Things definitely weren't going his way. And like I thought last year when he came in, he just had a little more electricity, a little more go get 'em. And yeah, he's just as his age, it's not like he's got a huge jumping chance at making the NHL roster or anything. It's just he was supposed to slot in and be more one of the reliable guys, and kind of just found himself off the ice and injured due to losing fights, and that's unfortunate side of playing the brand of hockey he likes to play. But at the end of the day, he's going to go down to the walleye and have a heck of a game down there. I'm sure he's going to refine it. And I'll hope to him down there in the walleye.
Yeah, I mean, he's played 17 games up here, and he has only got 1 point, which was an assist. And like you said, his physical game wasn't there, which was what we had him for. So it's the right move, in my opinion, to send him down. So, who do you have for hot?
So for hot, I got to go. Might not be
Right.
the red hot flame yet, but he has started the heating up process. Has been a slow and long upscale all year long.
Yeah, he's definitely done everything but like put the goals in. He's got 2 of them now, which in the past couple, the 2 he's got, hopefully if he can keep at that pace, it'll be a lot better for him. If he could turn around and get like 10 goals, man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the 2 goals he has. He's skating down the ice at the goalie, and he snipes it right past the goalie, beats him clean. They're just like goals that most of the time you wouldn't score. But like all the goals that he should have scored are goals that did not go in. It's just crazy that it worked like that. But just goes to show you sometimes you just got to shoot the puck on that. And yeah, here's the hoping that Soderblom really turns it up.
So who I got for hot, I have Sheldon Dries. I know we've had him recently, but he's got 12 goals. He's leading the team, and he just keeps scoring. In the absence of Lombardi, him and Snively and Shine, they're keeping it up. Watson, I got to include in there. All the veterans are really stepping up. Danielson's starting to take more of a prominent role in the offense. And Cross, Hannes, and Soderblom, Doucette even. All these guys are doing really good. And then you got like Seeger and these younger guys, Becker. They're Carson Bantle a little bit. You got these guys trying to make a name for themselves. Definitely cool to see all these guys.
I mean, obviously fighting for a roster spot, right? Like, you don't know when Mazur's coming back. I believe they said he's like a month out or less. So, I mean, we're getting to that point where players are going to return, star players that are going to be slotted into the roster, and someone's going to be slotted out. Looks like Johannes already fell victim to that, and we're going to see whether it's Seeger or Bantle or which one of these guys wants to remain on this offensive roster full time. But as far as Dries goes, you told me, I was like, who you got for hot, Connor? And you're like, Dries. I told you I had him last week. And you're like, well, if he was hot last week, he's hotter this week. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just goes to show you the dude's on fire. And yeah, Dries is really tearing it up. Good for him.
And like I said, all the other veterans are also keeping this team afloat right now.
You got to think as these players down here, these veterans, they're seeing that we got a new coach up in Detroit too. So they know that he might want to take a look at what he's got to play with. So they're going to be playing as hard as they can to get that spot up there.
Yeah, and this guy might be a little more of a touchy guy with the AHL. He might want all the guys right now. All of a sudden, our playoff run is nothing, and we're calling up all these dudes. I mean, you got to be prepared for whatever happens. I mean, it's a big deal that the coach was fired, so I'm hoping that things stay relatively the same for at least right now. I say call up dudes, get them their chances, but once playoff comes, send them back down here. Make it so they can come back down for the playoffs here.
Agreed. So for random player, we have Shy Boom, number 8.
Apart from not scoring a goal, I think he's looked great.
Yeah, I've noticed he's been on the ice a lot more. He's been getting power play time, and he's been getting time with Tuomisto and getting time with Wallander. And he's been all over. I noticed Watson's been shifting the defenseman up and down, but Guy Boom's been getting a lot of ice time recently, and that's been good to see because he's been making an impact on the ice. And as everyone else is kind of falling in the plus minus, Shy Boom's been staying right up at the top. So that's a good sign for him. Ice time and the good plus minus at +4.
Yeah, he's played 25 games. He's got 0 goals, 9 assists, 9 points. Like you said, +4. Good stuff. You gotta remember he's a 2-time national champion. And he played with Tuomisto at Denver. So those guys should have a little bit of hidden chemistry. I'd like to see a little more of them kind of unlock that.
Yeah, and I think I just really like seeing him out there with the more ice time. He's starting to play like he deserves it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think we gotta say he's pretty hot. Like he's doing good. At least warm.
At least warming up. The warm, yeah. Hot. I wouldn't say he's fire hot, but he's definitely good. He's not cold. He's not lukewarm. He's got a little boil going there. Sizzle. Got a little bit of sizzle to him.
I like it. So we can move on to the Griffins earning wings section after the ads. It's the most wonderful time of the year for getting in on all the hoops, football, and hockey action at Draftkings Sportsbook. In the season of giving, we're being gifted college football and basketball, pro football and basketball, and pro hockey too, almost 24/7. And here's a gift for all new customers. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Happy holidays from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/beall. If you're anything like me, you have a few favorite prospects that you are waiting for to take the ice for their NHL club. Don't miss the day they make their debut and be at the rink when your favorite team's future takes the ice. GameTime makes it easy to be a part of your team's biggest moments. And of course, GameTime has you covered for the upcoming Winter Classic. They can find you the cheapest possible seats or find you the best available seats at Wrigley Field for the 4 p.m. matchup
of the Blues and the Blackhawks. Offering more than just sporting events, GameTime has tickets to many high-profile events, concerts, and shows. Visit GameTime.co, that's GameTime.co, and allow the GameTime Picks feature to sort the events that mean the most to you. Look for GameTime's Super Deal to find the lowest price guarantee, and even view your seating before purchasing. Covered by the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry, your purchase is protected by event cancellation and job loss protection. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime Picks. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download GameTime today. What time is it? Game time.
Well, in this segment, we talk about players who are Griffins or former Griffins who are earning their wings in the NHL or on their way to earning their wings to get to the NHL. We're just working hard down here to try to get their first chance to pop that jersey on a winged wheel. So we're going to talk about William Lalonde. He got called up. And I was initially, I was shocked. I thought it was fake news because I was like, there's no way that was happening. But it did happen. And just as me and Kyle kind of thought, we didn't think he'd play. We figured he'd just get the time to sit on the bench and learn, which was a good experience for him. He's back down in Grand Rapids. I was just shocked to see all the reaction of everyone like, oh yeah, here we go. Wallander signed to Detroit. He's coming up. It's like,
Yeah, and
he's,
like in
he's
no way
struggling.
we weren't trying to like say he's bad or anything. It's not like what we're trying to say. It's just the to play in the NHL right now would just be not good for the Red Wings. Like, I mean, they're already struggling as is. You throw an inexperienced kid in there, and it's just gonna be worse. Like,
He's just been struggling here at the AHL. He's not quite what we were seeing from Evanson at all, or even Albert Johannes at that point. Like, he's far behind Johannes. So it's just like, I didn't think he was ready to play.
yeah, and I mean, obviously he didn't, and like you said, it probably was just a really good chance for him to be up, and he needs it. I think to be able to go up to the team and have some chats with the guys up there and be ready for what is to come. Know where you got to go, know the building, all that good stuff that comes with being a Detroit Red Wing. Making that bus trip over there is just a 2-hour drive of like, hey man, I get to hang out with the big club for a day. So I mean, all props to him for just going up and getting the chance. But at the end of the day, it's Sherratt and Edmondson were injured, and they needed someone to be there in case someone else got hurt. So
You would have thought, if I feel like if it was an actual, they needed someone to play, they would have actually called up Tuomisto. But I think Wallander needed the just time up there alone. Just he needed it more than Tuomisto. Just the mental. I'm expected to be a really good defenseman up here in Detroit someday. You know.
yeah, and like I know you mentioned too, Tuomisto's got that extra year on Wallander even, and yeah, I would like to see them almost rather take a chance on Tuomisto and give him a just see what he's all about, see if he can compete at that level, because eventually he is going to out age in that spot.
He has the right-handed shot and the size.
And I think Toomey still has the potential. I think he's got a great, well-rounded game, and he really has stepped up in the defensive rights this year.
Agreed. So that'll pretty much wrap us up for this segment. And it'll bring us to our last segment, the penalty box. So in this segment, we like to step out of hockey and end the episode on a fun note. We pick the biggest idiot of the week, throw them in the penalty box for 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or a game misconduct. Kyle, who are you throwing in the box?
Well, I got to go with the Michigan weather. Because, man, it just gets cold enough to where ice freezes over on the pond, but you can't skate on it. And it was glass. I could throw the puck down the pond and roll it all the way to the other side and off the ice. But I tried to step on it. Went right through. Just unfortunate, man. I really wanted to skate on Christmas.
Yep, and then on Christmas, it's frozen over. There's snows on top of it, and it's melted through. It's like slush.
And now it's all gone. All of it. Back to ground zero. Got to wait for another 4 days at least of like 0-degree weather to get ice again. Could do without the snow, but I just want the ice, man, just so I can skate.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to do some nice old pond hockey, but instead we're out there with sticks on Christmas on the skate
On the Smith.
On the Smith. Out there with trash cans as goalies. Best trash can goalie ever, though.
Yeah, it was really making the stops. Won me that game, buddy. Won me that game. But anyways, who do you got in the penalty box? I just throwing the weather in for 2 minutes there.
So I got to go with the Trump campaign because they came twice here to Grand Rapids for the Trump campaign, and there's like dollars owed to Grand Rapids, the city, and apparently they're not going to pay it back. So that's pretty crappy. I'm going to give you a 5-minute major. If you're going to spend the money and get us to vote for you, don't just screw our city over, man. But yeah, I've won the box. So that should pretty much wrap us up. We have the New Year's Eve game with the indoor fireworks show. It's Tuesday, December 31st, and the doors open at 6. So get yourself down there to celebrate and see the biggest indoor firework show in West Michigan. Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Redwings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like and follow us on Facebook and X, or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.
Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy Holiday.